Hello, Peter. Update video. Dry lock on the basement walls, 2 coats. Came out nice. Brightened it up in here. Actually cleaned the furnace as well. She was dirty all around. Intake pipes, all that. It was just a mess from that floor above being rotted and leaking and all that running down all on everything. Shined up pretty good. This intake here is the worst. Little rust down there, that wouldn't scrub off. That's kind of on there. I was thinking maybe a little Rust-Oleum silver type of paint or something along those lines, just to clean that up. Everything else is gonna look pretty sharp. So yeah, I got the inside dusted all out. The top, cleaned off the top of some of those pipes. Let's see, we'll continue around here with the dry lock, just to get that out of our way. The wall came out nice. Looks real good, actually. Window. Still gonna caulk these edges of that guy yet. Yeah, came out nice. Came out nice. And you saw the pictures of the slider. We'll take a walk up there in a minute. That came out good as well. Now, Charles is coming June 13th to do the AC. Just on that note, as I was kind of, thinking about how some of this could get cleaned up a little bit, just to try to create maybe a little more headroom. I was thinking how these guys kind of cut crossways across there. If we were to bring them over, utilize some flex and some hard stuff maybe, and flex it up into here, and then down along the side of this beam, at least you'd have a nice hallway of headroom. Maybe do that for, maybe bring this guy. We wouldn't want to do, because there's actually, I think, 3 heats over here. One goes upstairs, and that one goes into, actually there's only 2 right here. So we could bring them over on from one, step it up into here, then bring it down, and then tie it back into those 2 there, and eliminate. Haven't gotten my head into there yet to see where these pipes are going, but I can thinking it's gonna take a little investigation. And as I'm looking around, I noticed there really isn't any intake ductwork that's actually attached anywhere where it should be. The intake is this rusted one here. That's our intake. Goes down into the furnace, then blows up and gets spread out. So this intake comes up and goes into this joist box, which is all good. That's common. Comes over here. The wood's not that common. Normally it would be a metal of this, which is in some tough shape. Maybe we'll go over this with just a clean sheet of metal to clean it up. But it comes over here, and if you know, there was all the rooms down here. I don't remember if there was a soffit that went along here. I'm thinking there might have been, the way this kind of lays out. Because this guy comes over here and really is nowhere. There's no intake. It's right under the front door. That's the front door, right up in there. The main living room intake is here, and there was some metal work there, but it's, so I'm thinking maybe on that addition there was a connection that was made from there to here. So we're gonna need to make these connections again. So I think if we button this thing up, we'll get a T to come down here to go that way, and to come this way, because this is the original front bedroom intake. And then we got the front bedroom, the main living. This trunk is kind of a weird thing because it doesn't do anything here, but it goes down here and is the intake in the back original bedroom. We could connect the two there, but it's a long pull to go from that point all the way around over back down to the furnace when we're actually kind of right there. So I was thinking we could punch up into this guy, bring it over here. Not sure what we're gonna do with this thing. I'm gonna want to at least, I think, move it over to here, and maybe even do something along the lines of bring it over into this other window, because this area is kind of a dead space, and get it into the addition there, and then make a couple runs to the dining room in the addition bedroom. I haven't gotten a light in there to really see what's going on, but there's no intake, that's for sure, because there's nothing running out there but this single heat, which I'm sure goes to the bedroom. I'm thinking it probably 90s and maybe goes over to the dining room. My investigation hasn't got me quite that far yet. So like I was saying, we could grab the intake there. That makes it a much better intake. You have to have the intake so that when you're putting your heat in the rooms, you're not pushing air. The air has somewhere to go, so it circulates through. Makes the furnace work efficiently. Obviously, we won't have an intake upstairs. These old capes, none of them did. None of them did. Originally, they were all just attics. So there's going to be a little duct work. I'm going to do some investigating. And this guy here was our original kitchen duct. So we're going to bring that guy over and punch it up through our floor. And I think they make for in a sink base under the cabinet vent that we could plug into so that the heat blows out like out your toe kick of your cabinetry for the kitchen heat. Yeah, so that's kind of where we're at. Another thing just to show you is this guy right here, this little 4-incher, is a heat duct as well, but it's kind of been run over here, up through here, and then it actually goes into the main living area. But they cut the joists almost completely out right there. 2 of them, right at the center beam to get that over there. It's there now. It's got these 1.5 by 1.5 pretty heavy quarter inch thick, good quarter-inch thick angle irons that seem to be holding it in place fine. They got them angle irons stretched out onto the center beam and then bolted through. Like I say, just to point it out, I'm not saying anything should or could be done. It's working fine, so I think it's working fine. What else? It's looking good down here now. Whew. Got bigger. Okay, so yes, Charles on the 13th. AC will be going in. Perfect. I did find the age on this. I don't know if we knew what it was or not. It was dirty in there. But it is a 2006 on the furnace. So it's 17, 18 years old. Still kicking nice though, so all good. We'll just sneak up here and get a look at the slider. Looks good in there. Works nice. Got it all flashed in nicely. Put a ledger board across the front there. Well, actually, once the siding is all off here, we'll end up probably putting a ledger board kind of all the way across so our siding, because it's going to step up from below, and that'll give us something nice for our siding to sit on. You can see the old siding was actually behind the deck. So we'll eliminate that. We're probably going to have to get our electric shut off one day so that we can replace this backer board on the meter box. So we'll set that up. They'll come out and shut it off for part of the day, give us time to, they'll take the meter and stuff out. And we'll be able to put a new, once it's all semi-stripped or something, we'll give them a call. Probably could get it all stripped actually and all ready to go, and then call them. But we're getting close to starting to take some siding off here. Windows are ordered. They should be here probably next week sometime, mid to end of next week. So we're gonna kick into gear out here. Yeah. I think you wanted a measurement on that guy, didn't you? Floor cleaned up pretty decently. Still got to pull staples. There's a roll of them right down through there, and then around the edges and over in here. It's quite. This is our worst spot in here. But they'll take another beating, that's for sure. And if you at the end want to replace them, then throw some vinyl over it and just do quarter round when you have to pull the baseboard trim off, you know. Yeah, I think it'll be nice. See, there's the intake for this bedroom. There's our heat duct there. There's the intake there. There's our heat. And then the other one that's there goes upstairs and into the upper bedroom there. That's the intake here in the main that we need to hook into. There's our heat. That's the small 4-inch duct that's down there. We'll bring our heat up here somewhere through the floor and probably come out the front of the cabinetry. I'm just looking over here. There is no heat duct over here. So they didn't make that turn. They just got the one run into there. Probably need one out here. We'll have the one there. I mean, it would probably be a little cool over in this corner, especially with both these doors here. If we didn't have some heat, like over here. So we get a duct out there. It's all the way in that addition. Another option could be to fish an electrical wire and put a baseboard heater there. No doubt fishing the wire would be easier. Both doable, that's for sure. Yeah, so you'll have to kind of think about what way you'd want to go with that. Probably be a little more, I'm sure it'd be a little more labor getting the heat over there, just because obviously you're working with some duct work and that versus a electrical wire. You could do some fishing and probably not have to get in there so bad, crawling around. Okay, well there's something. I'm not sure if you're against where we're going to do a baseboard heat upstairs. That one's already pulled. There's still plenty of room in the box. That would be the more cost-effective route. How much more would it take to run the duct versus the electric? Probably nothing crazy. Geez, I'm just gonna throw out there, a few $100 or something, maybe more. I don't know. Sorry about that. Thinking about crawling around back in there. It's a long way back. I know if we dropped a wire down that thing, we could potentially reach out there and hook the wire and pull the wire so we wouldn't have to crawl back in there. That would be a lot nicer. Even if we had to cut a 14 by 14 kind of hole in that wall to tap down into the plate there. You could drill a large hole and then drop a wire down with a loop on it, and then you could use like a piece of 10-foot PEX with a hook on it, and you could reach out and get that wire and then pull it right back in. So that'd be pretty easy to fish, and you could almost not get all the way back in there. And then the same with like this heater. As much as I'd like to get it out of, this is the one that comes out that window by the sink. That could be easier too. getting that switched out and out that window. We could still come in the other window and come down there and reconnect to this one inside this window without having to get deep into that crawl space. So if you were okay with the radiant heat here, you know, one of those radiant baseboards, I think those, the one you probably would need like a 5 or 6 footer there. I think they were a couple $100. You've probably actually got enough wire here, enough 12-2 here to pull that home run. Obviously, there'd be some labor involved in that, but we wouldn't be crawling out there. So that would be, like I say, the most cost-effective. Like I said, probably if we end up having to go out there and do the heat, and it probably would be a few $100 in labor. Probably a half a day crawling around all in there. Okay. And then obviously material for that as well. But obviously we'll be buying some other to do this other stuff. So that's where that is. Just a little something to think about there. I'm just kind of coming into all this as well. So that's why I'm rambling a little bit. Now there's not going to be a heat duct in this half bath, which I think will be okay. You know, you're going to have heat in this room. If we got a heater right out here, I think you get enough heat in this guy. If not, you could always put a small radiant heater in here. So just couple things to think about. I don't really think you need one in there. I think you'd be fine. Like I say, if worse came to worse and really, gotta have something, you could run a little baseboard heater in there. There's the heat for this bathroom, which needs to get reconnected. Upstairs is just how it's been. Basically ready for paint up here. This closet, paint or no paint? And there's the heat for this guy right there. And no intake, but like I said, we won't worry about that up here. There's probably enough drafts in here that'll air itself out. Plus we'll have a little heater here. We're all wired up for that guy right there. Ceiling fan with light, with a small radius on that fan. I was going for a tape measure to measure the patio. Got sidetracked. Let me get a measurement on this fan here. Let's see. I think we're going to be probably about that far down with a fan. That's 16. So if that was the center, that would be a 32-inch fan. And where'd 32 come out this way? Let's see. Let's see, where's 32? And 16, there's 16 to the center. And 32 would be out here. So 32 would be inside, would be right at the edge of the rail. I probably could have just measured this rail. Yeah. Something like that. Yeah, something like that. I think 32 is going to be our max on that. Probably could stretch and get a 36, but like I say, then you're getting into this part of town here. 32 will keep you inside that. I'd say a little something going on there, some dark spots. Probably a lot will sand out. And I think they make a few different cleaners that'll pull some stuff out. And then color the rest character. Out here we kind of talked about, I had said this deck was pretty solid. It's a little uneven. We'll get a look at it obviously when we're siding, but I said maybe we would just cut this rail off and put a new fresh rail on it and then paint the whole thing. We'll see what the framework looks like when we get to that point. Or is it just something that you just rebuild the whole thing? Kind of hate to do that. Probably the framework's okay. I mean, it's 2x6 decking with a 2x6 frame. The joists are 16 inches on center. Like I say, it's pretty beefy. With a heavy-duty pressure cleaner, might find you get a lot of this paint right off here. And once the rails are gone, probably most of this red paint would blast off with a, I don't know if my pressure cleaner's got enough power to do it. But it would clean it up pretty good. Okay, and then I think we wanted to measure the patio over here. Okay. Let's see here. Twenty by 15 is this guy. 20, 15 with a little bit of a slope there. Kind of got the short end of the stick here with the neighbor's yard drain. The slope's this way pretty good. I mean, it's kind of set up. It's got like a little swale kind of running there between the two yards, which is good. But it all kind of runs this way and ends up out here. We'll have to investigate this a little. Maybe it can just be sloped, and maybe we have to put a drain tile across this just to get it to the other side of this. You know, dig into this dirt a little bit, dig a trench down through there. I mean, you could take it a long ways. You could put a little trench in, put a little drain tile across there, and then put a retaining wall here. You know, it'd be a 15-foot retaining wall. And you probably have to come back this way maybe a little bit with it, or maybe you just slope that down. You know, you bring your drain tile up into here and kind of catch a low spot right there. So just a couple thoughts on that. This is all just needs to get cleaned up. I'm not really sure what there is for an edge there. It looks like just a treated 2x6 in the dirt, and then there's a bunch of little flat masonry along that edge. And then we talked about coming down here, I believe, with stairs down and over, or somehow around there. And on that deck, I think the rails themselves could kind of be saved. The verticals there and the 2x running that way. And the poles seem okay. That one's a little kicked out, but it might straighten once we get a new top piece on, a new 2x6, or maybe we even went with a 2x10 or something. Beef it up a little bit, maybe not. But they used three. It's like 3 8-footers, or maybe it's 3 10-footers. 8-footers. Yeah, like 3 8-footers. I would divvy it up a little differently. I'd put just one seam in the center here. That way you could catch the posts, even if you had to do something extra here at that seam to keep it straight. And then the decking itself, I think all needs to come up and get replaced. It's been nailed down so many times that you can see how many nails and stuff are there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 or 8. This one's actually, the joists are 2 foot on center here. But when you look down here, you can see there was an old sidewalk actually that was there. They busted part of it out. It's actually still under there in a pile. We'll leave that there. Okay. That's that. I can't think of anything else right offhand. You got the floor ordered for the bathrooms. Shower valves. Awesome. We'll need to start thinking sinks in both these bathrooms. All right, I'm going to leave it at that and do some more thinking. On the pool at New Hope, I wouldn't mind doing like a little video Zoom or whatever we can do, just to have so I could kind of show you what they were talking about and what he was saying about the concrete and how that could be done, and just to point out a few other things over there that probably could need to be addressed at some point, where the old wooden deck was between the house and the pool. Obviously, that's going to need something again. Either decking, the framework was in good shape, but there is a big void, obviously, under that between the house and the pool, which when water gets into that, under the deck, runs down either to the house and foundation or towards the pool, and that side of the pool where the side concrete is, where it could start settling. So just a couple things to think about. I haven't gotten hard in depth at that either, but if we did a little video thing over there, we talk about where he was wanting, maybe could get away with the concrete and how that might look. Obviously you're putting down fresh concrete next to this older concrete. Even when the older stuff is cleaned up, the newer stuff is going to look new, whiter, if you will. Eventually it's gonna fade and they'll be the same, or maybe not exactly the same. But something to think about that as well. So there'd be the 18-inch piece and yada yada. I'll wait till we're over there anyway, but or I'll just get over there. Maybe I can make a video like we just did here and just talk through some things. All right, Peter. We'll talk. Have a good weekend. Thank you. Bye.